So I was diagnosed with exercise-induced asthma in March of 2020, and that means that when I would play sports or run, I couldn't breathe very well, and I would have shallow breaths. I play soccer, and so for a couple months I had that, and I had an inhaler, which is medicine to take to help you breathe better. So I used an inhaler to help with the asthma, and that worked for a couple months. I would just use the medicine before soccer, and it was fine. And then a couple months later, it wasn't working anymore, so I had to do more medicine. I could breathe and it was fine, and kept going. And then we got to October. Soccer's over, but I still had asthma, whether I was running or not. And so just during the day, when I woke up, I couldn't breathe, and whether I'd done anything or not. The healing services were coming up in November, and so I thought, well, if I can just get to the healing services, I'll be fine. I'll get healed and I'll get prayed over, and then I won't have asthma anymore, and I'll be able to breathe. So I knew the healing services were coming, so what I did was I got the Pray the Word book, and every morning when I woke up and did my Bible, I would pray all the healing verses over me, and I found some more verses about the breath of God and healing, and I prayed those over me every day for probably 2 months, and then preparation for the healing services. And so I did that, and I got to the healing services, and that day of the healing services was the day it had been the worst asthma ever. And I couldn't breathe at all, and I had pain in my chest and in my arms, and it was really horrible, and I couldn't think clearly or really do anything. I got to the healing services, and I went up and I got prayed over, and Pastor Rob prayed over me, and it was amazing because Pastor Rob had been walking through the whole thing with me, giving me things to try to help, and praying for me and giving me verses. And so he prayed over me, and he prayed with such authority, I'll never forget it. He just kicked the devil out and invited God in, and just threw healing in my life. It was amazing. And then, so he prayed, and I went back to my seat, and I took a breath in, and I could breathe immediately, a full deep breath, which I hadn't felt in probably a couple months. And so then I got back to my seat, and my friends were like, "You're healed." And I was like, "I know, it was awesome." And so I felt great, and now I can breathe, and I haven't had asthma for a year. It's amazing, and I'm so thankful to God for what He does in my life and for healing me, and He can heal you too.